Hello everybody and welcome back once again to Let's Play Total War Attila with the Saxons. So, here we are once again. Things aren't quite going so smoothly, are they? Anyway, before we continue with today's session, a bit of stuttering there, I'm just going to outline a couple of things from the last session. First of all, so the first 10 minutes of this video is going to be me just outlining a few things. Bear with me. It's a complicated game. We need to take our time and do a lot of planning and stuff. But anyway, from the last session, Corinium. There were rebels in his here lands, and they took Corinium. Yeah, a bit of a minor problem. Horsa, our good General Horsa, former companion, came over with his army, captured some lands, and you know, generally a good general. But something happened, didn't it? We auto-resolved the battle at Corinium. The balanced bar was heavily in our favour, about 90% I'd guess in our favour. We took protective stance and then we retreated after the battle. And I was confused, like, why on earth have we retreated? Why haven't we taken Corinium from them the first time we tried it? I looked back at the video when editing it to see what had happened, and rather shockingly, we actually lost the battle. A heroic defeat. So despite the fact that the balance bar was like 90% in our favour, we actually lost the fight. I've never seen that in my entire Total War live. Losing a battle when the auto-resolve was so heavily in your favour. I was shocked. So that's why we lost. And luckily, the second time we won the battle, we wouldn't have won the battle if it was just Horsa's forces, because look at them, they're heavily depleted. There was actually an army, I think it was this army here, that was nearby, that was reinforcing us in the second fight, which allowed us to win. So we got rather lucky there. But anyway, that's what it was. Suffice to say that Horsa is being ranked up to be an elder as a result of taking back Corinium. Luckily for him, High King Guis does not know the fact that he lost the first fight, because if High King Guis knew that he had lost the first fight against the rebels so embarrassingly when the odds were in his favour, he won't be getting a promotion to elder, I can assure you that. And his army have been sworn to secrecy upon pain of death, but luckily they're a loyal bunch, so High King Guis might just be kept in the dark about this little faux pas for all of eternity, he hopes. So that was Corinium, and as Kylenatia pointed out over my forums, as a result of losing Corinium, which was our capital at the time, Londinium, rather fortunately, has now become our faction's capital. A much more worthy candidate, and I'm much more happy about that. One last thing about the last session that needed addressing was the fact that we gained Imperium level, and as a result of that, a lot of these people now like us or dislike us with a -30 penalty due to our great power. The Picts, however, were -75. And as somebody kindly pointed out on my comment section of one of my last videos, the reasoning for this is this. Their leader, who I'm calling Andy here for short, because it's a rather complicated name to pronounce, Andy here doesn't like rival empires, and therefore that is why he views us so unfavourably. He considers us a rival empire. Combine that with the fact that he's aggressive, unreliable, and an opportunist, I don't think we're going to get on very well with him. So that's one way in which all these various traits can influence how other factions see you. And the great thing is, if we were to assassinate him, or he was to die, and the new leader was to come into power, that might not have this stat, or might like rival empires, or might be more favourable towards the Saxons, the entire factions, you know, the way they view you would completely change. That is really good. That is really, really good. But yeah, that's why they've got more of a penalty than the others, because of this guy. So we need to be careful. And he's probably just cemented the fact that we need to take them down first. When we start to wage war upon the British tribes, the Picts are first to fall. Their leader doesn't like us, and they raise Camulodunum. They're going down in a blaze of fire. We're going to see to that. So that takes us nicely on to our future plans, because our future plans do not lie here in Gaul. Senrad and his spy, Wigston, have both come back with horror stories of what it was like down there. Of course, Senrad has beefed up his participation in various battles and stuff, but he's saying that it's not a place to be, not a place we need to be expanding. So we need to turn our attention to Britannia. Now, Kyle and Attila put a very detailed post in my forums about some various things that we need to consider or should be considering, and most of them tied up with my thinking, because after the session that was so horrific last time, I sat down and just had a close look at things and made some notes about what I wanted to achieve in the future. And those plans lay in Britannia. This is where we need to be expanding. We need to form a power base up here, hopefully without interference from other clans down here and stuff like that. So this is where we're going to be turning our attention in the future. We're going to be taking Britannia, hopefully by storm. But before we do that, we need to consolidate and stabilise Britannia Superior, which we'll get to eventually, because public order is an issue. The next port of call is we need to settle here, in this desolate region, Lindum, which is modern-day Lincoln, I think. We need to settle here. It's going to cost us money, it's going to cost us men, but it's not going to cost us any bloodshed. It's not going to cost us turning the entirety of this land against us, and therefore it's pretty much easy pickings. So that's our first goal, is to capture this. So once we've stabilised that, and then we've captured that, then we need to focus on increasing our military, because if we're going to be waging war against just one faction in here, because of the way they're all set up and they're all friendly and buddy-buddy with each other, we're going to probably have to face them all. I say probably, it's not 100% certain, but we need to prepare for the worst. So we're going to need one, possibly even two more armies to take the fight to the entirety of Britannia. But I'm thinking it might be more one, due to the fact that our income isn't massive, and a full stack army is taking approximately 2,000 in upkeep. So that is the plan. Capture this, increase our force size, take Britannia. Sounds simple, doesn't it? But I can assure you it's not going to be the case. So that's the plan. We'll get to that very soon. Before we get to that stage, though, a couple more things to address here in the political theatre. Now, Senrad has come back from his campaign in Gaul. He's come back with a babe in arms, a legitimate son. His wife is happy. She has a baby boy. He's happy. He's still loyal, for God's sake. And he's come back with a minor success from his escapades in Gaul. He's lost the trait which gives him that cowardly -1 to zeal. So he's learned the art of command. His cowardice is a bit less than it was, and he's come back with a successful mission under his belt. And with the king is politically scuppered here. Anything he tries to do against Senrad right now is just going to look tyrannical, because he's proven himself. If you look at the influence, he's 111, he's 79, he's 70, he's a lowly 21, he's 83. He's the second most influential man in this faction. So the king is certainly going to be keeping a close eye on him, but right now he's a little bit hands tied as to what we can do. And we're even having to be forced to promote him to companion because of the success that he's had. So our powermonger here is absolutely loving life right now. Isn't he just? But the king gonna monitor the situation. And Attila, 24 years young, sleeping with women in the back of brothels, having illegitimate children, is not becoming of the future leader. It's good that you can show that you can procreate and you have the ability to have some children, but have them with a wife. Come on. We need legitimate children round here. Thankfully, he's now got enough influence to be able to seek his own wife, and that's what we're going to do with him. So he's going to seek a wife. Let's see what he can come up with, eh? Because his father has had no luck so far. So let's see if he can find his own. So that's the political situation. Right. So I'm just going to get my bearings here. In terms of diplomacy, we are alright. We've started recently trading with the Geats. We're quite alright with these clans here. The Vandals don't want to trade with us. Okay. And everything else is not too bad. I think that might be everything. What did I say, 10 minutes? It's been about 10 minutes, there you go. Ah, one more thing. We have 2 spies now. This spy has +5 to public order in local province, which is why he's staying down here to try and help the public order in Britannia Superior. But whilst we are now preparing for the future in terms of taking Britannia, we're going to have this spy do some scouting missions in and around the area, keeping an eye on strength levels and army positions, constantly feeding back information to the High King, ascertaining when the time to strike is best. I mean, he could even start levelling himself up when closer to the time by carrying out some missions to sabotage and things and misdirect armies and just basically cause havoc and weaken the enemy before the armies come crashing on through. So he's off on his merry way. I'm just going to leave this army outside the Camulodunum because they still have plague, but I think the plague is going to end. I think the plague is going to end soon. We've had the plague for a little while. We have. But hopefully it'll be soon ending. And then once it's ended we can start replenishing our troop numbers because this army is absolutely obliterated, and this is our home army, the army that's going to patrol Britannia Superior when the other armies are off conquering Britannia. So there you go. Just a little bit of an overview from the last session and our immediate future plans. So let's see if they come into fruition. I have a feeling that the game's going to throw some curveballs, which is going to mean that we ain't going to get it our way entirely. Here come the Geats. Now the Geats are friendly with us. I'm wondering if we should maybe increase our relationship with those guys and perhaps look at maybe a defensive alliance in the first instance. Maybe build up to even military allies, because we could do with an alliance when we're dealing with the British tribes. Just we never know when we might need a helping hand. You just never know. So we might work on that.
The people will turn to the legions, and they will set their swords to your people.
Oh, for goodness gracious. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Alright. Okay. I just spent 10 minutes outlining my plans. I think those plans have changed already. I think those plans have changed. Turning our attention to Britain, we might need to turn our attention to Gaul. Well, at least a faction anyway. They've declared war on us. Okay, so we've got a worthy bride here. We've got Wilbur. Hey, Wilbur. 24, same age. She gives him extra influence. Well, he needs it. I mean, he's the future faction leader, and he has an influence of 2. If he becomes into power by some minor miracle, because I die with Gewis or whatever, he's going to have people revolting at every turn, clambering hand over fist to oust him from his throne because he's basically a damp squib, you know? So she gives him extra influence and extra cunning. Cunning is not bad. Yeah, take her hand. She could be worse. She's a bit of a looker as well, isn't she? So also becomes an elder, despite the fact that he blundered at Corinium, and Senrad becomes a companion for his exploits in Gaul. And we are at war with Gaul, the faction. Excellent, excellent. So all trace of plague is now being eradicated from Britannia Superior. We have troughs, which is increasing sanitation across the province, so we shouldn't be getting any more disease for now. And the army here has also lost its plague. The plague has dissipated. So we're now recruiting. We're now replenishing, sorry. It's going to take a little while to replenish. 8 turns for this army to replenish. It's a little bit of that's a little bit of a time. A little bit of a time indeed. Okay, so our plans have changed. Our plans have changed because Gaul have declared war on us, and the fact that they've declared war, I don't think we can be content to think that they're going to sit here in Rotamagus, just twiddling their thumbs, enjoying the view. They've declared war on us because they're going to come. They are going to come, and they're recruiting ships here as well, which means they're probably going to jump on there and sail across and cause some kind of havoc. Now, normally I wouldn't be overly concerned about this. We have slightly more numbers. If you look at the balance bar, let's have a look at the balance bar. We're about 50-50. But the thing that concerns me most is that these are made up of Roman troops, Romanesque troops, which we haven't seen too much in this campaign, but in previous campaigns that I've done in single player off camera to get a handle on the Saxons as a whole, yeah, Roman units are relatively strong compared to our early stage units, and therefore if they come with a full stack over here, we're gonna suffer big time. So we need to take these guys down ASAP. And we need to take him down with strength in numbers. So, and they've got a big garrison there. Wow. So we ain't taking the fight to their homelands. The best thing we can do is prepare for the onslaught. Get these guys. Well, these guys are replenishing. We can't get them any faster unless we actually purchase more units and merge the troops together. But we need to do something. Bloody hellfire. Bloody hellfire. I'm in a bit of a pickle now. Bit of a pickle already. I had everything so neatly planned out for this session. I was going to recruit a third army, take this desolate region with them, and oh, lovely, happy, joy, joy. And now we're at war, unexpectedly. Jeez. Right. So the braided bolt is 20 out of 20. It's led by Senrad. Okay, that's fine for now, although we might want to change... although he has earned his stripes, he might actually be our best commander right now, other than Horsa. So he might have to just actually stay in charge. Let's have a look at the replenishment. 2 turns, 3 turns, 2 turns, 2 turns, 1 turn. They're replenishing quite quick.
Ready for battle.
Does he replenish quicker in a settlement? 6 turns, 5 turns, 6 turns. Yeah, they replenish a little bit quicker in settlements. 6 turns, 4 turns, right. And we need 4 more units. Okay, let's get my bearings here. Let's get my bearings. Let's turn them into horses. Okay, let's turn them into horses. I didn't really want to do this, but if we got enemies coming, we're gonna need to create this army to be a little bit stronger. And these guys are really not cutting it. These guys really don't cut it at all. So we might have to even disband some of these. I won't disband all of them. Let's see if we can merge them together. So we can merge them into 2. So we'll keep 2 and we'll retrain those to be brigade. So that's 12. We can't actually recruit Saxon spears yet, so we don't want to disband them. So keep them as, yeah, let them retrain, but we do need some more. We need some more, maybe 2 more archer units. Let's have a look. What can we recruit from here? We'll go for the Nordic skirmishers, I think. I think they're pretty decent. They ain't cheap. But then again, I mean, are we really going for cheap? We're going for strength right now. If the Gauls are coming with their legion, we need some sort of hardiness. Okie dokie. Maybe a couple of no. I'm not overly through. Oh, we can recruit Saxon spears. When did that happen? How many turns? Bear with me. 4. Can we wait 4 turns? We're gonna have to, aren't we? Okay, 6 more units. 6 more units of spears. Is that a bit overkill? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 units of missile. And then the rest Saxon spears. I think we can recruit mercenary horses, but they're expensive upkeep. I might just leave 1 slot spare for mercenary lancers. And then if we see them coming, we can hire them just before the fight and then disband them on the same turn so we don't have to pay the upkeep. because they're not overly expensive to recruit. So that's the army. That's the Sons of Saxony. So they're getting ready. They're replenishing and they're getting stronger. They're in horses in charge. Senrad's in charge of these guys, and these guys are replenishing also. They've got a decent army makeup. I'm quite happy with that. So it's just a case of sitting and waiting and seeing what the Gauls do. I'm hoping they're going to come now, but I reckon they're going to replenish, recruit until they're full stack, and then they're going to come across. They do have a fleet, so I'm almost thinking that we should actually maybe start looking at recruiting our own navy to patrol this area here. Interesting thought. Interesting thought. Okay, 2400. Public order here is 10. Wow, that's improved quite a bit. Why is that improved by 10? Military presence is now 14. Okay, that's good. So whilst we have a high military presence here, we're gonna hold off on building that, because I think we could really use this money in terms of recruitment for now. We're at a time of war. So could we benefit from a small fleet just to patrol the area here? I think we could. It might just deter them from coming across. They're recruiting a fleet as well, so we need really to counter that, and we could do with a fleet. So let's have a look at this. Raise force. No. Raise agent? No. Raise fleet. There we go. So we've got Wigbua, who is what's his? He's a fighter. I don't want to put Attila there just yet. Oh, we've got these other guys. We've got Aedmund and stuff, but we could. It's going to cost us some money to bring them into the fold. So Wigbua, 500. It's going to cost us 500 to have him as a fleet commander. But so be it.
Yes.
Wow, it's not cheap, is it? How much is the upkeep?
For the tribe.
340. Wow. Alright, how much are these? 105, 165. Our income is getting shot to bits here. Right, heavy marauders and some bows. So we're going to go
Need a bigger fleet.
3 and 3. It's going to really impact upon force 450, extra 300, so about 700, about 800 per turn in upkeep here. And then combine that with him, we're looking at about 1,000. That's going to halve our income, but I think we need this. I think we do. Erring on the side of caution. Once we have dispatched of the Gauls, we can certainly disband the fleet or lower the fleet. So the Harbingers of Dread Sails. I'm not going to rename these guys just yet. Alright. So there's no units in there. The Caledonians have got no units here. They're all the way down here. They were suffering actually at the hands of the Western Romans when we last saw them. I wonder if that's still the case. Right, so here we are, we're at war with the Gauls. Now I'm just going to try one thing very quickly. I don't expect to have a great deal of success, but we do maybe have a potential for some alliances here. Now the Geats, we've just started trading with them, we've got a non-aggression pact. I wonder if they would be interested.
Greetings, friend. I've called for good ale to ease your throat and, ripe women to ease other parts.
So we can go into a defensive alliance. We're already at war with the Gauls, but if we maybe get a defensive alliance first, oh, they're not even going to accept.
I cannot agree.
Okay, I wonder if we can just sort of. How much money do you want? Come on, name your price. Everyone can be bought. No. Damn it. So they won't join our war, they won't go into a defensive alliance with us. I'm just thinking if we could get a defensive alliance, increase the relationship, then maybe try and drag them into this war. We could set up a war coordination target and hopefully they could weaken the enemy for us. The only other people that I can think of that might join would be the Ebdanians, but we're going to be going to war with those guys soon, so do we want to suffer any sort of treachery by turning on them if we bring them in as an alliance?
We have need of talk, I'm sure, but we also need good food, a warm fire, and warm women.
Okay, I think what we need to do is we need to ascertain. Sorry, I'm really struggling here. We need to ascertain who doesn't like Gaul. Who doesn't like them? Now the Western Romans, they're neutral. Who doesn't like them? I mean, the Ebdanians don't like them. In fact, let's look at this the other way. So their opinion is neutral of the Gauls. Their opinion is neutral. Their opinion is unfriendly but improving. So it's the Caledonians might be able to. So the Caledonians, the British, neutral. The Danes don't like them, but they're only a horde right now. But they are more powerful than me, so they must have a big horde. The Geats, see, the Geats are neutral. So the Danes and the Caledonians, they might be able to be dragged into this because they're a little bit unfriendly towards the Gauls. But who else? What about the Alamans? Unfriendly, mate. Yeah, Alamans unfriendly. The Langobards even more so. What about the Western Romans? No, the Western Romans find them friendly. Right. Okay, so we'll stay away from clans that we're going to possibly fight against. So let's try the Danes. Let's see if we can bring the Danes into this. You don't like the Gauls, do you?
Speak ill or slowly, and I may feed your tongue to the dogs.
Oh, come on. Come on, you know you want to fight. We're a warmongering people, Ocelot. We need to fight. What about the Vandals? Vandals are friendly with me.
We will gladly listen to your offers, but do not wrap them in lies. The Lord knows truth.
No. They're probably not going to do it for free, are they? They're not going to do it for free. Let's try the Alamans.
My friend, be welcome. The spirits of this place smile upon you. The gods bless you.
How much is it going to take? I don't have much money left. That's my entire treasury right now. No. The Langobards are the final hope. Langobard, do you want to join our war? You want to join our war, people?
Speak quickly and well. Speak ill or slowly, and I may feed your tongue to the dogs.
Ooh, moderate. Okay. So the Langobards don't like the Gauls enough to be able to consider this. Yes!
This is fair to my
Okay.
people. All that's left is to drink until we roll beneath the benches.
So the Langobards have been dragged into the war with Gaul. Now we're not allied with these people. We're not allied with them, so we can't set a war coordination target. So that's the next step, isn't it? That's the next step. Come on, Langobards. It's about time we we're at war with the same people.
Is not welcome. Be like a spear and have a point. Ha ha!
No, not interested in non-aggression, not interested in any alliance. Okay. Okay, what about the Franks? Just trying to drag as many people into this war as I can.
Now speak plainly, for we are an honest folk.
Oh, yes!
I can sense that my gods smile on us.
Lovely. That'll do. Okay, so what we've done effectively there is we've just brought the Franks into the war with the Gauls, and we've brought these people over here, the Langobards, that's the ones, into the war with the Gauls as well. So what that effectively does, hopefully, is that'll just split their attention. They may send ships or troops down to deal with them. They may not. But the fact that they're at war with 3 people now, they just have to think a bit more. They just have to think a bit more clearly, because they can't overcommit on one front, because they could end up getting attacked in the back by the other tribes. So it might just buy us a little bit more time. That's all we've done. We can't set a war coordination target because we're not allied with any of these guys. We just literally drag them into the war, hoping that they don't like the Gauls as much as we don't. which has just happened, so I'm happy with that. Right, okay. So that's it for this turn. I can't think of anything else that I need to do. So I'm recruiting, I'm replenishing. Let's see what the Gauls do.